This is the Class80, a fully retro-themed keyboard taking after Atari game systems and SNES controllers. Complete with a buzzer and solenoid, the Class80 embodies everything about the keyboards of the good old days and the designs of familiar consoles. But how does it compare to modern custom keyboard standards? This video is brought to you by FlexiSpot. FlexiSpot recently sent us the FlexiSpot Pro Plus Standing Desk E7 to try, which is going to be our primary B-roll and board building desk from now on. The quick and quiet height adjustment makes it super easy to switch between workflows. I can go from filming to scripting or editing easily. It stores up to 4 customizable height presets, so you can keep your favorite settings. Personally, I'm super short, so my standing height is really low. The sleek and minimal design makes it super easy to integrate into any home office or literally anywhere a table is used, and the plenty of color and add-on options make it adaptable to your specific needs. Compared to other options, FlexiSpot offers a cost-effective and customizable experience. So join FlexiSpot Tech Day during September 7th through 9th to get up to $200 off. Use the link in the description to learn more. We've got a nice custom carrying case. First off, we've got an FR4 half plate. Next are 2 polycarbonate plates. Here is our hot swap PCB with some flex cuts and double S gasket tabs. And our foam pack, including a piece for the battery compartment, super thick plate foam, PE foam, less thick plate foam, bottom PCB foam, and 2 case foam sheets. Next, we've got a bag with gaskets, screws, a nice metal screwdriver and required bits, bottom feet, an extra solenoid, and standoffs. Finally, our board itself in this bottom compartment. Studio also sent out their custom keycaps designed to be used with the Class80. I was not provided any specs for these, besides that they are close to GMK colors L9 and U9, if that means anything to anyone. Class80 is a gasket or top-mounted TKL. We've got hot swap and solder PCBs with daughter boards. There is additionally a Bluetooth hot swap PCB available. They can all swap to stepped caps, split left shift, ISO enter, and the option between WinKey and WinKeyless 7U spacebar. The solder PCB can additionally have a 6.25U spacebar and bottom row. QMK and VIA are supported. We have 2 plate options, PC and FR4, and 4 color options, E off-white, E red, black, and black polycarbonate. The typing angle is 7 degrees. Finally, the wired Class80 will run you $385, and the Bluetooth Class80 will run you $415. In here are TX stabs lubed with 205 grade 0 and BTC. Plateless hot swap is supported for this board, so we're going to try it out. I'm hoping it's at least going to be more interesting than the polycarbonate plate. In here go graphite golds lubed with 205 grade 0. I'm going to add in this battery compartment foam because my board is wired, and install the gaskets. The indicators here are optional. I don't really like how they look, so we're going to remove them. Finally, we can connect the daughter board, solenoid and buzzer PCB, install the inner assembly, and close the case. On top go the Studio Retro keycaps. Plateless doesn't really sound good in this board. Let's try the FR4 half plate and top mounting and see if it changes anything. I really wish I was given an FF4 full plate, because I thought the switches with the FF4 plate under them were the best I could get the board to sound. Let's try a different foam configuration as well as a bit of tape. Because of its sheer size, this is going to be a board more oriented towards a deeper sound profile. Though this board does have an internal weight, it doesn't really seem like it's helping the sound that much, and I think this is because of its untraditional design. At least there isn't any hollowness. Hopefully in the future this weight can be changed to a more simple rectangle design, as I think that would not only be cheaper and easier to produce, but help the sound a lot more than it does right now. All in all, this board just doesn't have a very strong sound without foams or tape. Top mount does help a bit, but still not all the way. Double S gasket tabs make this board very bouncy. There isn't much noticeable difference from the Class65 single S tabs though. I like the inclusion of top mounting capability, or technically isolated top mount with the rubber top gaskets included. But because I put the gaskets on the case, it's still kinda gasket mounted. Obviously with my bottom foams, the bounce is pretty much gone, but the flex is still there. Although since there isn't a flex cut between the number and first alpha row, the flex isn't all that consistent. Not a huge deal though. Top mounting didn't really affect flex because it's on a half plate. I love the design of the Class80. It's also a pretty big step forward from the original Class65, ignoring whatever happened with that and its unwarranted version change. On top, we've got nice and tastefully chunky bezels, a lot more modest and moderated than the Class65's. The top bezel also has what I assume is a pen rail. It's a nice top flare, and I think a good looking use of the extra top space needed for the solenoid. The bottom edge also has a little taper, helping with both comfort and visual flair. The side profile is still pretty boring though, and exactly the same as the Class65. We've got our top and bottom case separated by this seam running around the whole perimeter. The back has our recessed centered USB-C port. The bottom is where the design gets the most interesting. Here is a brass SNES controller style weight, complete with stylized Class80 cursive on the logo portion. This is definitely the focal point of the board, so I wish the cursive could be cleaned up a bit because it doesn't look all that high quality. With how many boards are doing the cursive bottom weight right now, my standard for it is super high, and this unfortunately does not meet it. However, the inspiration for the design and its overall quality are definitely there. Like the Class65, this board isn't for everyone. Yes, it's super fun, and definitely one that'll catch others' eyes, but the sound could definitely be better without having to use the foam which shall not be named. But if the retro aesthetic is something you're craving, the Class80 is the perfect board for you.